I wasn't like, oh no, I was like, bummer, because she's fast. Oh, she's talking about this event, so that means that this is from this person's point of view. It's the same plot, basically, but Christmas. I don't know how people do this. Merry Christmas, Madeline. Yes, Merry Christmas. Wait, that's it? Cults afoot, everybody. I have to keep reading. I have to keep reading. I'm sucked in. I'm sucked in. Really? I feel so harsh. Plot twists. Wanted something twisty. Twisty Christmas. Good morning. How are we all doing? This is my first time vlogging. This is the daybed in my den. I decided that I wanted to, my brain is not working. I decided that I wanted to do a 24-hour reading challenge. I've done one of those before. They kind of a staple on booktube. However, I am in recovery. I am in healing from my concussion, so I can't do the like stay up all night thing, but that would be bad for my brain. However, I will do the version that Allison Pages does, where she just takes the amount of time that she does each day and she writes it down and adds it up to 24. Hopefully I'll be able to get that done by the end of the week. The next couple of days I don't have too much to do other than like house stuff, and I have an audiobook that I can listen to in that time. I don't really have a theme for this 24 hours. I'm reading a thriller. I'm just gonna kind of read what I want to read. That way I'll actually stay motivated to continue the 24 hours. Let me know how you guys feel about the books that I chose. Let me know if you wanted any specific ones, or I was thinking about doing the same thing later in the month but for Christmas, but I'm not sure. I might end up reading some Christmas books in this video. We'll just have to see. Can you tell I haven't taken my vitamins yet and haven't drank my coffee because I'm all over the place? I'm excited to get some reading done. I'm gonna be finishing, hopefully, What Lies in the Woods. I'm 50% through, so we will see how that continues. I'm not super jazzed about it, to be honest. I'm on page 161. Some things have happened that I'm just not like super a fan of, and I don't know how to describe it. It's taken a turn that I don't really know, and also nothing is happening. Like one major thing has happened in 161 pages. So I don't know how that's gonna continue, if that pace is gonna continue, or if that pace is gonna get better. I have no earthly idea. Also, if you can hear my laundry going in the background, I'm so sorry. We will see. We will be merry while we're reading, and hopefully the story picks up. Otherwise, I might have to DNF it because this is just not it for me. I am gonna start a stopwatch, and we will see how far we get today. Hopefully I'll get about 5 hours under my belt. I do need to edit, which will take forever and 17 days. If I hunker down, maybe read tonight some as well, then we'll get at least 4 hours in. Hoping for 5, maybe even 6. We'll see. With that being said, let's get started. All right. See you guys when I have an update. Hello. So I got distracted by doing some stuff today, and I literally have read for only 32 minutes. Yeah. So I don't know how much time I'm gonna be able to do today. The stuff that I did today, hopefully tomorrow will be a little more free, so we'll be able to read more things. I don't know if it's because I'm just not that into this book that it's kind of like I haven't felt drawn to read today. I hope that I'm not getting pulled into a book slump after reading my last 5 stars. I don't know. If I really just can't get into this book, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch to the next one. I'll soft DNF this one because it sounds like it's gonna be good, but it just nothing's happening. And I don't know if that's it for me right now, you know? So hopefully I'll be able to get into this one, and if not, like I said, I will switch to some kind of Christmassy thing. Page 197, 61% through. I don't care anything about these characters. Let's be real. A tragedy happens relatively early on, and it's just, I wasn't like, oh no! I was like, bummer. Which is a weird distinction, but it makes sense to me, you know? And that's what counts. So let's try to see if we can get back into this. Hello, good morning. Today has been a not great health day, I guess you could say. Normally when I take my naproxen, it works fantastically on my head, but we haven't reached that point yet. Granted, it's not super late in the day, 10:19. Been up for a couple hours and it hasn't been great for Tata today. I wanted to update you guys because I finished What Lies in the Woods last night. I only read, oh no, did my timer go away? Oh no, it didn't, thank God. I only read for about 2 hours, 40 minutes or so. So What Lies in the Woods, 3 girls go into the woods. 1 girl gets stabbed 17 times. She survives though. And then whenever they are questioned about it, they know for sure. This guy, he goes to prison, he gets cancer and dies. Prison years and years later. They're probably in their 30s. Most of the book, they're in their 30s. Turns out they've been lying about a bunch of stuff. So What Lies in the Woods versus Who Lies in the Woods. Thought that was pretty punny type of title. This is my first Kate Alice Marshall book. I'm not sure if this is just how she writes, but like nothing happened. Like, I understand, I watch a lot of horror movies. I know that you have to like set up In a Stranger Calls. We watch her run around the track for 45 seconds, like, cause she's fast. I feel like this book took that to the extreme. The first 85% of the book, I would give 2 stars. But then the last 15%, I would give like 5 stars because the ending was fantastic. So I'm gonna average that out so that the whole book gets a 3-star. 3-star for me is like fine. You know, I read that and I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. Yeah, What Lies in the Woods, 3 stars. I haven't started reading it today because I haven't been able to like focus through this headache. Yes, I'm still in yesterday's outfit. No, I have not brushed my teeth. If you saw it, no you didn't. I'm gonna try to figure out what to read and then I will update you guys when I do. I'm kind of torn between a Christmas romance, a Christmas fantasy, and just like a winter thriller. Winter in New York for Christmas romance. No, actually, I kind of want to read All I Want for Christmas is a Cowboy as my Christmas romance option. Christmas fantasy was Kingdom of Sweets. My other option would be 5 Total Strangers, which I've heard is a YA, like winter, snowed in type thriller. That one's on my Kindle. That one might win. The other 2 were physical. If I'm stuck in this position all day, then that might be the winner, but we'll see. We'll see if this naproxen kicks in. I'll check back in when I have an update. Hello and welcome to the kitchen. So, I have had plenty to do today, so I figured I would maybe update you guys while I was in the middle of those things. So I'm currently making myself lunch. I had to do some painting, hence the paint splattered outfit. While I was doing that, I have been able to listen to an audiobook, Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison, and it's been really cute. I, for some reason, only like romance audiobooks. I don't know what it is about a thriller. I like to read a thriller, but then when it comes to audiobooks, I love a romance. Maybe it's because the people are not so serious the whole time. Like, you know it's a romance, so it's really not that big a deal. It's really cute so far. I have been invested. I'm an hour and 48 minutes into the book, but I listened to it on like a faster speed. So my total for 24 hours is in the 4-hour mark. still not great. I'm really gonna have to, while this paint dries, I'm gonna get a bunch more done. And while I'm eating lunch, I'm going to get a bunch more done as well. I mean, I know exactly where it's going. Like, it's not a complicated concept. Also, look at my little butter knives that I have. Aren't they so cute? They're very medieval. That's what my mom said. They're from World Market. I guess they're cheese knives, but I use them for everything. So far, we have kind of the setup of why she owns the Christmas tree farm, our main character's kind of family life that's not great, how she met her best friend Luca. They're both from a small town. It's very cute. They decide to fake date because she has entered into this contest under the guise of me and my boyfriend opened the Christmas tree farm together. And he's like, why'd you do that? And she's like, well, it sounded more romantic. And the judge, you know, she loves romance the best. So he was like, fine. I think that he is into her as well. Shocking, I know, for a, you know, friends to lovers situation. But it's good. It's really cute so far. I want them to succeed. I hope that there's not gonna be a third act breakup, but I'm sure that there is. I mean, there's a expiration date on their, you know, fake dating in the first place, which always goes super well. I guess we'll see how it goes. So far, I'm really liking it. Although, like I said, I'm only on, I think it said chapter 5, which is like, what I say, an hour and 48 minutes in. So we'll see how it continues. If it continues to stay as cute as it is, or if it gets into cheesy category. I will let you guys know when I have some updates. Good morning, everyone. Last night was a bad sleep night. I did not sleep very well, nor did I sleep very long. But while I was laying in bed trying to go to sleep, I ended up starting and finishing Five Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. This one is a YA thriller. Five total strangers, get into a rental car, because all of the flights are down from Newark to Pennsylvania, so they end up having to drive, and then the thriller aspects from there of getting, you know, snowed in and car wrecks and all these people lying about something and everybody's acting shady. The count is now at 8 hours and 17 minutes. So this 24 hours is definitely a lot harder than it looks when you have health issues. Five Total Strangers, it's a YA thriller, and I haven't read a lot of those. I kind of liked it because it wasn't as complicated. Like, it wasn't as hard to follow, it wasn't as convoluted, it was difficult, it was very simple, it was intriguing. And I'm not sure if it's so good because I was coming off of such a, in my mind, what was a dud. I liked it a lot. It definitely kept me hooked, probably to my own detriment of trying to go to sleep last night. Five Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. I'm gonna give a 4.5 stars. It's not 5 stars because, again, it wasn't complicated. All of the characters were just a little too over the top for me, but it is YA, and so, you know, she's having the issues with her mom and her family life and stuff like that are a very big part of it, because that is a big part of a teenager's life. Her wanting to call her mom and talk to her about, you know, her problems and stuff like that. It dealt a lot with grief and the way that it manifests in different people, deals with, you know, making assumptions about people just right off the bat, and you have to trust your gut and not what people portray to you to be true about themselves. So it was showing a lot of those more overarching themes that you would see from a YA thriller, like lessons to teach while you're reading type thing. So that is book, what, 1.5 of this 24 hours? So the next book I'm trying to decide for this 24 hours, I have 2 options. I have a literary fiction called Winter Street by Ellen Hildebrand, which I've never read an Ellen Hildebrand before. I've gotten her from the library a couple times and then got intimidated by the size of her books, but this one is much thinner It's much smaller, so I'm thinking that maybe I can actually like get through it. It's only 246 pages. And then my other one is another thriller called Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger. This is technically a novella, or she counts it as a novella. It's 268 pages. So like, or 258 pages. How is that a novella? I don't understand. So I'm not gonna count it. Anything above 170 pages for me is a full novel. So I'm counting it as a novel. I don't know if that's supposed to be it. I'm sure it has something to do with word count or whatever, but I'm not counting. I'm not, we're trying to be kind to ourselves today, you know? I think I'm gonna go Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger because it's, I would assume it's fast paced. It's a thriller. It's been super popular here lately. And that way I can give it back to the library and they can get it back out because I'm sure there's a lot of holds on it because I waited forever for it, so. Not sure how many clips I'm gonna have of me reading today, but I will definitely keep you guys updated. Let's get to it. Hello. So, the clock is now officially at 9 hours and 17 minutes. I'm on page 92 of Christmas Presents. I'm liking it so far. I've never read a Lisa Unger book before. She, in this book, is switching first-person views so often. There's currently the true crime writer, bookshop owner, stripper. 3 different point of views. At least 2 of them are in first person, the stripper and the bookshop owner. I think Harley was written about in third person, but it's kind of a little bit hard to keep up with. I don't know if that's just my brain not working well after not sleeping, but it's like you have to read like a page and be like, oh, she's talking about this event, so that means that this is from this person's point of view. And like, oh, they're talking about, you know, Badger's their best friend, so it must be the bookshop owner. It's just like, it's interesting and odd that I'm having to like figure out every chapter who is talking. It doesn't say it or whatever, you know, like it's difficult. I have no idea what direction the story's gonna take. It's kind of vague, like somebody did something. It's very reminiscent of What Lies in the Woods, which I'm worried about. I didn't like that book that much. I mean, it was okay, but it dragged in the middle. And so I'm hoping that this one doesn't do that. But the crime aspect and like her being a victim of a crime that happened in the past is exactly the same. We'll see where it goes. And I will keep you guys updated with my progress. Hello everyone, afternoon update. I am reading Lisa Unger, The Christmas Presents. I figured out my issues with the book at the beginning. My brain was just not working this morning. When it switches to the victim's point of view, it gives a countdown 3 days before Christmas. I think it starts at 6. And then the chapters that are from Harley's perspective, it's very clearly Harley does this and Harley does that. And it's like, okay. And then the others, the ones that are left, are the bookstore owner's point of view. I'm a little over halfway. I mean, it's good. I think if I had not read What Lies in the Woods, that I wouldn't be so indifferent to this book, because it's like the same plot, basically. But Christmas. I mean, not quite, because there's multiple people and there's a crime actively going on. The bookstore owner is recanting her experience. In What Lies in the Woods, it's all of the past, and then we see the crimes happen. Nothing crazy. Like I said, if you want to read this, do not read What Lies in the Woods like immediately before this, and then you'll feel a lot better about it. I don't really have much else. I have an appointment in like 30 minutes, so I'm kind of wasting time until I can get on that call. So hopefully I can finish this in the next hour or so, and then I can get back to you guys. I am now at 11 hours in, not even halfway, and it's been like 3 days. I don't know how people do this. Maybe if I didn't have a concussion and it wasn't like physically hurting my head, but then also like being married and spending time with my husband, and then also spending time with my family, and then also having things to do around the house, and then also being injured. Like, it's just a lot of things. So I am doing my best. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take me to get the full 24. It might take me 2 weeks. Who knows? I will get back to you guys more towards the end, if not after I'm done with this book. Catch up then. Merry Christmas, Madeline! Yes, Merry Christmas! Wait, that's it? All right, I am back with the end of Christmas presents. We're now officially halfway into the series. I've read, what, 2 full books, listened to half of an audiobook, and read the other half of another book that I'd already started. So we've already read quite a bit. Quite a bit. I don't even know what to rate this book, to be honest. I'm thinking maybe a 4. I liked it way more than the Kate Alice Marshall book, but this is, I just can't get away from that comparison. And that bugs me so bad because I feel like I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't read that other book. I think the twist was much better. The romance was done much better. We didn't get the answers that we wanted. I hope that there's another one that's gonna come out because we didn't hear anything from the murderer's point of view. I'm not sure if there's gonna be another one, but I really hope that there is because I do wanna know like kind of his side of things. I like when there's insight into both victim and murderer in my thrillers. You know, it is what it is. If we don't get that, we don't get that. Less than 12 hours to go. Let us pick the next book. All right, we are back with another book for this winter readathon. I don't even know what to call it. We are 12 hours, 28 minutes in. I have chosen The Lost Village by Camilla Sten. I have no idea if this has anything to do with winter time. It looks wintry, bleak, desolate vibes that instill a winter theme into my heart on the cover. Is it thin? Yes. But I've wanted to read this book for so long that I've talked about it in videos and I want to read it. So I'm gonna just shoehorn it into this video in any way that I can. I've read like 2 pages in. I already love what's going on. Cults afoot, everybody. I'm very excited to get into it and see where it possibly could take us. Hello, everybody. After multiple appointments today, and I still have even more to go to, and lack of sleep the past couple nights of any quality, I wanted to update you guys on where I'm at reading wise. Made it to 13 hours and 12 minutes. I am liking The Lost Village so far. I'm not very far in, as you can see. It's creepy, and what else can you ask? It's definitely, I don't know if it's winter time per se, but it's definitely cold. So them being cold, you know, outside and having to go inside for heat and stuff is a part of this so far. I'm not sure if they're gonna get like snowed in or if it will just stay cold. We'll see. Sorry if I'm more low energy, but it's just been that kind of time, those kind of days. You guys let me know if you have read this book before or anything else by Miss Camilla Sten. Let me know if you liked it. Let's get back to reading. Guys, I am back with an update. I just finished The Lost Village by Camilla Sten. I am 16 hours, 55 minutes into the challenge. This book, 5 stars. I tore through this book. I haven't had that feeling of just wanting to just sit down and read like more than anything in so long, and it was so nice. That feeling of like, oh, I have to keep reading, I have to keep reading, I'm sucked in, I'm sucked in. That feeling with this book. The vibes of this book are like Midnight Mass meets Grave Encounters. It's done so well. It tackles big themes of like family loyalty and doing what you think is right and the way that depression can affect you and also those around you and those that are trying to help you, rekindling old friendships, you know, supporting people and depending on people that you might not have, you know, outside of a crisis situation. It's just, new favorite book. I'm gonna go, next time I go book shopping, I'm gonna buy a physical copy of this so I can keep it and have it on my favorite shelf. Definitely gonna be looking into her other books. This didn't drag, like, ever, but it wasn't really fast paced either. It was just one of those things that, like, it just kept you going, you know? At a good pace, something would happen. And then we heard some backstory, maybe some interpersonal, inner character dialogue, and then something else would happen. And it was very realistic. Like, nothing of this was like, really? That happened? None of that. Like, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. I get that. That's probably what happened. Yeah, I totally get that. It all made sense to my logical brain, but then it also was just amazing in the sense of, like, you never know what's coming up. I couldn't predict anything in this. I thought something crazy was gonna happen, and then the ending came and I was like, oh, yeah, that makes total sense. I get that. So good. 5 stars. If you guys have this at your local library, or if you see this out while you're thrifting or even at Barnes, you will not be sorry. If you like those kinds of movies that I mentioned earlier, or like the shows, you know, like a Midnight Mass has a very culty vibe to it. If you like all those things, this book is for you. I have to keep working on some Christmas presents that I'm making, so I'm gonna be switching over to Love Light Farms, the audiobook, and then we'll see how far I get in that. And then I will keep you guys updated. Update, it's late. I am at hour 18:13. I'm liking Love Light Farms a lot so far. I'm 47% of the way through. It's cute. I mean, it's a rom-com, giving me very 3 stars energy right now. I'm just not sure that friends to lovers is really my thing because it feels very predictable. I guess the only unpredictability is, like, if they break up, do they remain friends, or, but it's a romance, so we know they have to end up together, and then the third act breakup hurts even worse. So it's like, I don't know, there's just not a lot of upsides. I just don't think it's my thing. So it's a 3 star so far, but like I said, I'm only 47% of the way through. Cute, but not mind-blowing. She just met his mom. Not met his mom. Just confirmed that they were dating with his mom. That was kind of cute. But yeah, nothing crazy right now. It's not really about Christmas. I mean, they just decorated for Christmas. I do like the side parts about the tree farm and, like, making sure that it is, you know, successful. Yeah. So I'm more into that side plot than I am into their romance right now, but hopefully that will get better. So I'm working on that, listening to that while I work on my homemade Christmas presents. And then I just started reading The Christmas Party by Michaela Davids on my Kindle. It's Kindle Unlimited. I like it so far. This whole family seems to have broken up like 10 years ago, and they stopped speaking. I'm on page 30. There's a mother and 3 sisters. A mother and her 3 daughters. One of them is like mega rich, the middle child. She walked out of the family after some big fight 10 years ago and hasn't spoken to any of them since. And when I say haven't spoken to them, I mean, like, didn't invite them to her wedding, did not tell them that she had children, like that level of disconnected from their lives. She decides that she wants to mend fences, so she invites them all to this giant Christmas party that she has every year at her hotel. This is book 1 of 3 in the Bailey family psychological thrillers. On a dark and stormy December night, my family are gathered at an isolated hotel in the English countryside. We're reuniting for the first time since the accident that shattered our lives 10 years ago. It's time for love and forgiveness, but more than one guest has an ulterior motive. The perfect daughter is the alcoholic. The single mother is the liar. The handsome husband is the adulterer. The beautiful sister, the jealous sibling, the murderer. As the clock strikes midnight, one member of our party is found dead at the foot of a grand marble staircase. Everyone is a suspect, but which one of us is the killer? That's what I like. I wanted something twisty. Twisty Christmas, you know? I am going to continue on with our timer, and I will update you guys when I know anything. When something happens, something changes. Somebody's already dead. That's already happened. That was like within the first couple, that was in the first, is that in the prologue? That was in the prologue. So, page 2, somebody's dead. It was on the back of the book, you know? But we are getting started, and I will update you guys again when I have something new to share. We did it! 24 hours. Let's just ignore the way that I look. We were getting cozy, okay? I don't know how people do it all in one go. Like, this took me like a week to get all of this time in. A lot of it was audiobook today on this last day. In this 24 hours, I finished Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger, The Lost Village by Camilla Sten. I finished What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall, Love Light Farms by B.K. Morrison, and Five Total Strangers by Natalie Richards. This was quite the 24 hours. I had a 5-star that I haven't had in a while, for a thriller, I mean. I got to read on my Kindle. I got to really appreciate like how much time these booktubers put into their channels, because like, how do you have enough time to read? Maybe I'm just a slower reader than them. I also probably went a little ambitious with the types of books that I read. Oh, I also read 40% of The Christmas Party by Michaela Davids. Let's not forget that. But I think that will be it for this video. I went over each book as it, was finished in that time frame. Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger, I gave 4 stars. It was better done than What Lies in the Woods, which I gave 3 stars. But it's basically a very similar story with just a few differences. I feel like if I hadn't read What Lies in the Woods, this might have been a 5-star. But it was bogged down in my brain with that comparison the whole time. And so I really wish that it hadn't worked out that way. Speaking of, I had already read half of it by the time I started this 24 hours. 3 stars, nothing special. It was okay. I feel so harsh. Like, it was fine. It was a fine thriller. Like, the ending, it was a 2-star for the majority of the book, but then the ending bumped it up a star. So keep that in mind. It's very slow the rest of the time. The next I read Five Total Strangers. I gave that one a 4.5. That was a young adult thriller, so it was a much needed palate cleanser from the more cerebral plot twists that I had been reading. And it was not as predictable as I thought it was going to be. The ending kind of took me off guard, not gonna lie. So I appreciate that about my thrillers. And then I read The Lost Village, which I rated 5 stars. Highly recommend. It's kind of along the lines of like a found footage, like a Grave Encounters type, mixed with the cultiness of like a Midnight Mass. So good. Highly recommend. This will be on my favorite shelf. I've got to go out and buy a physical copy of this. I just finished Love Light Farms by B.K. Morrison. I also created a digital bookmark that I'm going to be printing out for myself, and I added it to my Etsy page, which I'll link down in the description below. But if that's something that you guys would be interested going forward, like different themed bookmarks, please let me know down below if there's any that you guys would like specifically, or if you have any ideas for that. Feel free. It was cute. It got a lot better. I got more into their relationship when the town aspect got in, like the dating pool, and they were all betting on when they would finally get together and stuff like that, and that was a lot more fun. It wasn't just like them trying to figure out how to be a couple, even though they basically were a couple for the past 9 years. There was like a 3rd act breakup, but it wasn't really in the 3rd act. It was like way too late for there to be really like a turn back. Like, it wasn't really a conflict, it was more just like a hiccup. The protagonist was kind of insufferable a little bit, so I'm gonna give Love Light Farms 3.5 stars. I listened to it on audiobook. The narrator did a pretty good job. I appreciate that. But yeah, it was cute, but again, nothing special. And then the last thing that we have on here is The Christmas Party by Michaela Davids. I am only 40% through. We haven't really learned much, to be honest. I guess all of the action's gonna happen in the last 50%. A lot of the first 40% has just been interpersonal character drama and just, do we go to the Christmas party? Do we not go to the Christmas party? Just over and over again. And then they do go to the Christmas party, and some stuff happens at the Christmas party that just comes out of left field so far. And I don't know how that's gonna continue, but it's okay so far. I don't really have a star rating yet. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me on my first 24-hour reading vlog journey. Feel free to comment down below if there's any books that you would like to recommend to me, if there's any books I should stay away from. Like the video. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe to the channel. It would really mean a lot. Hit the notification bell so you always know when a new video goes live. I'm gonna try to put out a video at least every Friday and potentially also on Tuesdays. So definitely gotta be notified when those go live. But I will see you all next time. Make good choices, support your local library, and happy reading.